Hello, hello. My name is Nigeria Chambers of Big Gold Belt Media. Zainab and Jeanine, it's a pleasure. And thank God I was able to talk to you two about this season of Upload. With all things that happen, obviously, huge congratulations to the actors standing strong and truly working the deal that you all deserve. But I just know how incredibly frustrated it must have been to not be able to talk about just the hard work that you two have done for this season. And the fans were roaring. So it's just an honor and a pleasure to talk to you about it because, man, I got so many questions, but I had such a good time. But if you two would just take a moment just to talk about the fun that you all had this season and just what it just meant to for you, Zainab, to continue to be a part of the Upload family, but you, Jeanine, being a part of it.
Yeah. Well, one, thank you so much for sitting down with us, Najir, and I'm so happy that you enjoyed the series. Thank you so much for watching. I love Aleesha's character, and I love like how she's growing. I feel like every season, she's given more to do. We're, peeling off another layer of like the Aleesha onion. And I think that it's really cool that she's kind of like she has this ambition and she's kind of growing in this world, but also we're seeing kind of what troubles come with her growth. And so it's been fun to explore that. The moment that I saw the Karina character in the script, I was like, okay. Oh. So it was just wonderful, like being able to play with Jeanine, and I every time I read the scripts, I was just like on the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, what are the fans gonna think as this story evolves and unfolds.
Yeah. Jeanine.
Oh God, I 100% agree. This was a really special experience in the sense that I was truly a fan of the show before getting to jump into it, which is wild, especially that it's like, season 3. So it's still so early in its evolution, and it's so fun to be a part of it when it's like trying new things and expanding. And that first like chemistry read with Zainab over Zoom, I suddenly was like, I already love this show and it would be so cool to be in it. But then getting to work with her and see the way that her and Greg work together, Greg Daniels, who created the show, it was so yummy. And I just thought like, man, this would be delicious to do this part and to get to work with her on this. And I am also I'm a Luke and Aleesha stan from like early days of the show. So it was hilarious to come in and be the obstacle this season. And yeah. And I still root for them the most.
I do too. So I never really gave your character a fair chance because I'm just like, no, it's
That's
Luke.
fair. That's fair.
It's always gonna be Luke. It's just always gonna be Luke. But it's such a really interesting dynamic, and I love you. Gonna say something?
Yeah, Najee, it's interesting because, and I'm sure Jeanine knows this, but like in my conversations with Greg, I'm like, Alicia's character, I feel like is always speaking to the audience. Like she's always calling out what the audience is thinking in that exact moment. I'm like, so while, and of course, this may be a spoiler for any of the viewers who haven't watched the entire series,
And
but
better go watch the series.
Yes. But the Karina character, is a complex character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, she can't just come out the gate and be like this corporate, shark, because Aleesha's too savvy for that. Aleesha has to buy it for the audience to buy it. And then if later on it's like, oh shoot, these are some things that I didn't sign up for, then that's one thing. But I think it was delicate, bringing the Karina character into the Upload world, especially because, as Jeanine said, the fans, they just can't wait for Luke and Aleesha to do what? I don't know.
Wait, whatever it is, I can't wait.
So Jeanine, yeah, let's take a few steps back here. So yeah, being a fan of the show and knowing what your character was going to bring to the show and potentially ruin the dynamic that everyone's looking forward to, did it sort of change your approach, or did you kind of become like your anti-you in terms of like, I'm going to do everything I wouldn't traditionally do as the fan? Like, how do you kind of approach a situation like this?
You're totally right. I do feel like I had to disassociate a little bit, where I had to kind of be like, I can't just come to work with my pure I love upload heart, because I would completely not do my job. I had to kind of be like, I'm here to be this baddie, and that's a fun acting challenge, and we're gonna get our shoulder behind that. But I think what Zainab is saying is totally true. You know, it like speaks to the complexity of the show, in that we couldn't just approach from day one that this is a baddie and this is someone who is just here to spoil stuff. Like, we had to go on the journey with Aleesha of maybe I can justify the weird stuff because I'm having a good time, and Aleesha's feeling herself, and we as the audience love to see Aleesha feeling herself.
Mhm.
But it's also a testament to Zainab and to her work that you know that Greg Daniels trusts her with it, and that she's so down to explore this complexity. It was just like, that's just the best stuff you could hope to be a part of.
Yeah, and Zainab, I definitely want to give you your flowers, because as over the seasons, as you talk about the growth of Aleesha, I truly see the growth in your performance too. Even this season, I'm like, I don't even think they have to write for you at this point. I think you ad lib and really improvise in some very genuine moments that, like, as you said, sort of being that vehicle for the audience in terms of how we would respond. Like, let's just talk about the finale here. Karina asking about eating, like, oh, I can eat. I was like, oh, that's the cold shoulder of like, I'm not really feeling this right now. And it's like, certain people can't write certain things like that. That's just something that you organically, in terms of your response. And there's been so many examples of that. So talking about now over 3 seasons, and then obviously looking forward to many more seasons to come. How much of you have really just became Aleesha over the time of being on Upload?
You know, I think that my comedic sensibility does show up for Aleesha. But I gotta say, as much as it seems like, and people say that all the time, like, I mean, that's just you. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'd have called Karina out. I'd have told Nora she was bugging. I don't get the whole hype on Nathan if it were me. But Aleesha, I'd have been told Luke, listen, you know, you know, but Aleesha, you know, is of the world. And so I do of the upload world. And so I do have fun, like bringing my sensibilities, you know, but there's so much to keep in mind, like even in terms of like the, you know, improving lines and things like that. We have to keep in mind that it's in the near future. And so there's things that you're, you know, like constantly thinking of, like, can this thing, okay, I'm going to try and be funny in this moment. I'm going to try and be I'm going to try and be in the moment, but also, can this thing exist? Is this true to this world that we've been, you know, creating? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I answered your question. Oh, I guess I'm really...
But listen, I got to wrap this interview. I just wanted to just quickly say that you two are just phenomenal job this season. You two are also extremely gorgeous together. That's what I hated. I hate it because I was like, I'm not buying it, Karina, but like, damn, they look good together. I'm with this. I'm with this. Team Luke. But nonetheless, I can't wait to see what goes forward as Freon, and that's all going to be done because, you know, my girl Aleesha had to do what she had to do, come through in the clutch there to save the case, which is definitely going to have a very fun time for us going forward. But again, congratulations on the deal. And hopefully now you all get to talk a lot more about the work that you've done. Fans, you have no choice now but to go watch season 3 of Upload. Otherwise, they're going to be after you here. Zainab and Jeanine, I thank you so much for your time.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Take care.
I